What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Pop Culture Gamers podcast. And today we have an exciting unboxing of a microphone, but you weren't expecting that one. So this is the Maono USB XLR podcast dynamic microphone, the PD-200X. So this is a microphone that has both connections for USB and XLR as well. The build is a dynamic microphone that helps you capture deep lows, dedicated highs and crisp midtones with ultra wide frequencies, response between 14 Hz and 16 kilohertz, present clear crystal and clear sound. It's got cardioid polar pattern, reject and unwanted background noise in your recordings and streaming as well. You can choose a perfect tone from your microphone, and you can turn on and off the RGB, because we all know that RGB means really goes better. You can switch that on and off, and there's 9 different colours to do. There's also an EQ limiter and compressor, an adjustment in the USB mode. Also, the device is plug and play when recording on a desktop or laptop, and by plugging the 8'2" USB directly in, you also have the option of doing the XLR analog output for connecting to professional interfaces, such as the one that has been created by Elgato, for example, which I might get at some point. And also there's a portable PA system when podcasting in your studio. Everything is in your control, and the podcast microphone have a 2-in-1 smart knob to adjust the mic gain and head volume, a one-click mute with the LED indicator to help you instantly mute the mic, and the real-time monitoring of a 3.5mm headphone jack. It's a metal construction, and the dynamic microphone is in the box. There is also a shock mount, a 2.5 meter USB-C to A cable, and there's also a 5/8 to 3/8 adapter as well. The user manual is also in there, but an XLR cable is not included. So as we can see, it says on here anti-shock and anti-pop, USB-C and XLR connectivity, 2-in-1 digital knob, programmable RGB, one key mute as well. Lots of information about the global best-selling internet microphone on there. And this is what it looks like in here, so as we can see the diagram on there. So shall we have a look and see what this actually looks like? So it is nicely boxed. It's good quality boxing. It's not as premium as the old-fashioned Apple sort of boxing, which they used to do before they've gone on to this green way of doing things. Here is the manual, so it tells you all about the actual mic, and to be honest, it looks like the sound is actually at a decent size. I can read this, which is unlike many of the manuals that you actually get these days, but it tells you all of the connection instructions. Obviously, if you're connecting through the XLR, you lose control over certain things which are already available if you connect to USB, but it does show you all of the things that you can actually do with your microphone, which is really good. A nicely detailed manual. And then we come to the actual box itself. So let's have a look. First off, we'll do our obligatory USB testing on this. Let's see what sort of lead this is. So I have my trusty USB tester from Tridix on here as well. If you want to see about that, I'll put a link up there. And here is, let's put it in there. So, get it the right way around. It is a really good long lead, is this one, which is really nice to see. So it'll give you plenty of options of where you want to mount it. Turn it on. power transmission only. That's going to be interesting. So that's clearly not going to be the case. Let's try reconnecting, but this one is a adaptive one, so you can actually have USB-C as well. So it is saying that it's only power transmission, but then again it is USB 1 by the look of it, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm quite sure that that will work fine. And then we have the microphone, which is really nice. It's not to the same sort of way as you would expect with, say, for the Yeti Blue, because the Yeti is a massively heavy microphone in comparison. But this one, it's very nice indeed. It's got a nice sort of feel to it. Obviously there's a mute button and then the different switch as well. It does seem to rock. I don't know whether or not that's intentional or not, but obviously this is much more of a sort of like pointed microphone for you to be able to use. So it's going to be interesting to see, because I've not used a dynamic microphone before. I've used ones like the Blue Yeti, and that has been absolutely fine. I do like the fact that there is a shock mount in relation to this, so that should absorb some of those times when you accidentally hit the ground and you get that shock wave that goes through your desk and that sort of thing. But obviously you've got the XLR input, you've got the USB, and you've got your headphones all on there as well at the same time, which is really good. Yeah, so that's good. I think that the one thing that I would need to do is just turn that around that way so that I'll be able to look down on it, I think. Having said that though, if I put it on a boom arm, it might be more like that. Let's see how it goes. You can, this costs £70, but you can get it frequently on offer as well. And also there is a version of this that comes with a boom arm as well, but it is one of those cheap £20 ones. In a matter of fact, probably a cheap £10 sort of like style from what I've seen. So you might as well just buy the boom arm separately if that's what you want to do. But that's what I'm thinking of doing anyway. I've got spare boom arms all over the place, so that's what I will do. I'll just use one of those that I have rather than buying one with this as well. But this looks like a really good quality microphone, so let's give it a try. Okay, so now we're switching over to the sound file, and this is just the microphone as it is by default. Now I'm in a noisy background area. I have a washing machine going off behind me. I also have my computer whirling because it's doing stuff while I record this. And that is really quite quiet in comparison to what this is recording. So this is on the original sound setting. If I click it over to deep, this is how things change. Obviously I can't hear this at the moment, but I'm sure that there will be a very obvious difference in the sound. There certainly is in terms of some of the example sound files that it gives. And then we can click onto natural, which is also how it records. I can see a difference in the wave volume immediately on here as well. So this is the natural sound. We also have this legacy version, which again has changed the audio shape of my voice on screen, which is very visible. So it'll be interesting to hear what that sounds like. But for now, I'm just going to go back to original. None of this goes further down the screen in here, but obviously I can increase the gain if I want to. which is quite useful for sitting a little bit further away from the microphone. But obviously with this being a dynamic microphone, it does prefer you to be quite close to the mic. Then we have the headphone volumes, which we can have on or off should we want to, and then we can go to the advanced mode. On the advanced mode, again, we can control the gain. We can again do the headphone volume, and this is where we have the custom EQ, so we can actually go to advanced and we can change it at various different hertz and kilohertz ranges if we want to. You've also got the equivalents, which I'm assuming that these are deep, original, natural and the legacy versions, but I might be wrong. Let's say a flat here, high pass filter, presence boost and HPF and presence boost. We have a limiter so that we can limit how high we're going. So if we're going very high up and going into the red, then we can limit that. And we also have the compressor, and by pressing the compressor we can obviously see what difference that makes to the sound as well. Switching it off halfway there. So that's the microphone. If you want to in some sort of way change the colour of the RGB, that is available here. We can change it to the red, green and blue, so if it really goes better we just have it to red to signify the fact that we're recording, but I think that it stays on red all of the time, so not very helpful. There's orange, yellow, blue, cyan, purple, various different colours that we can do. This is like a pinky purple colour. I always like that colour actually in terms of electronic equipment. I might keep it on there. So that's the microphone, folks. So it's up to you. What do you think? Have you got one of these microphones? Have you tried one out before? Then let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, what microphone do you use and how do you find those? Do you use a USB microphone or do you use one that's XLR? Interested to hear your thoughts. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and do us a further favour by signing up to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every subscription is really thankful, and liking and subscribing and even commenting on our videos really helps these to be noticed. So please do your best, help us to support the channel. Thanks very much for you listening, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again. Bye now.